You put into your buttered baking dish 6 ounces of pudding or short grain rice. And to that you add 1.5 ounces of golden caster sugar. And then in my jug here I've got a pint of full cream milk, whole milk. And next door I've got a very old-fashioned ingredient, the contents of a large tin of evaporated milk. And I'm going to pour that milk into that milk. And I'm just going to give it a little whisk with my whisk to combine it. And then that is going to be poured over the rice. It's always such a lovely colour, this. And now I'm just going to give that a stir, to stir all those rice grains and sugar together into the milk. And then, when you make a rice pudding, a real proper rice pudding, one of the things that is characteristic is a skin, and the skin has to be covered with nutmeg to get that lovely sort of nutmeggy flavour that we all knew in our childhood. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually put a whole nutmeg on top of the rice pudding. You might think that's too much, but it isn't, because you've got quite a lot of contents in there. And it really is the nicest bit of the pudding, the skin. You don't get it when you buy it ready-made or from a tin. Now you are going to have just a tiny bit left that won't go in, but we won't worry about that. One more ingredient, we've got 1 ounce of butter. And what I'm going to do with the butter is just put little knobs of the butter all over the surface. And they'll sort of, first of all, fall in, and then some of them will float back to the top. And I haven't mentioned so far that this rice pudding is going to serve 4 to 6 people. Now, that goes into a preheated oven, gas mark 2 or the equivalent. And the secret of a really good rice pudding is that it has long, slow cooking. So that's going to go into the oven, and for the first hour you stir it twice, once after half an hour and then once after another half an hour, and then you just leave it for the further hour and it'll be cooked. So we're going to pop that in the oven, and guess what? We do have one that we have made earlier, which is going to come out. So put that one on the top. And we'll take this one out. And here it is in all its glory, with that wonderful, crunchy, caramelised skin on the top. And now I'm just going to serve a portion so you can have a look and see what it looks like. And because there's always lots of fights over the skin, I'm going to show you an extra little trick. And that is that if you take a knife and you slide the knife around the edge, you can get extra skin like that from around the edge and give everybody a piece of that. I think rice pudding's really good served with fruit. I like it with baked apples, but I've prepared a recipe for you here which is especially good. And this is a plum. This is a plum recipe, and the plums have been cooked long and slow in Marsala wine with a flavouring of vanilla and cinnamon.